Hi, Jed Xavier here at Elite Agent Magazine Transform 2017. I'm with Monica Tu and John McGrath. Hi guys, how you going?
Very well, thank you.
You guys are going to be talking to the Super Six and going through a listing presentation with them, or they'll be presenting to you and you'll be critiquing them on that. But before we do that, I'd love to ask you a couple of questions about listing presentations. So, what makes a world-class listing presentation for you guys?
I think for me it's all about preparation and again, professionalism. And I want to see the agent absolutely keen and somebody I can have a really good rapport with.
When you present to someone, you want to move them. They've got to feel something.
Yep.
Because everyone today in real estate is going to be probably somewhere between good and exceptional. So, just being a good, competent agent, I don't think cuts it anymore. You need to be able to actually move people and excite them to want to work with you. I think the other thing for me, Jed, is authenticity. There's too many wind-up robots, people, and that's one of the things, Monica, I've always loved about your approach. It's so natural and authentic, and which is, I'm sure, one of the great reasons you're successful. And yet, so many agents I see, they're like robots. And I think, I'm hoping to see today, Monica, some authenticity. I'd like to see, and I know they'll feel a bit of pressure because you and I are judging them, but I'd like to see some people that really show who they are. Because there's something special when you actually get to see the real person that I think that connects. So we'll see.
Is there a structure or some sort of process or sequence that makes a good listing presentation?
I believe so. I think there's always a process and a sequence. So that's why we're talking about preparation. So this, who you are, why you're different from other agents. So what is your strategy? Which give me, as a vendor, the best price. So there's always a process.
And it should feel invisible. It shouldn't feel like it's a clunky, segmented meeting. It should flow, but I think you need to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. Listening is key. Too many agents, all they want to do is tell you how good they are, and I think a vendor really, you need to bring out from a vendor what are the important elements so you can know how to sell to them. So we'll see how their listening skills are as well as how their presenting skills.
On that note, do you have any tips on building rapport?
I think, like John said, I think listening. So, sometimes I have a problem of just start talking, right? So I don't listen, but I listen to my team members say, look, you have to listen. I do listen, and I really do listen. It's not about listening. I really understand where they come from. So what is their, why they want us to be here. So I think that's my, key of winning the listings.
Yeah, I agree. I think listening is important. Active listening. So it's not just kind of waiting to speak, which a lot of people think is listening. It's really checking, re-summarising. So, Jet, when you say that, do you mean, or can you tell me more about that, digging deeper?
Reframing.
Yeah, so getting really into the conversation, genuinely, authentically, not just thinking, I have to ask questions and listen. Actually ask meaningful questions and listen to the real, not just the real answers, but the body language. Because you might ask a question, you might get a verbal response, but then the body language might be inconsistent. So I think you've got to be around it. And look, other than that, rapport, I think just being likeable, being a nice person, authentic, we mentioned before. If you're authentic, I think people genuinely like you.
Is there anything you notice first if you're playing the role of a vendor? What do you notice first about the agent?
Well, it'll sound obvious, but first impressions. Have they arrived organised? How do they look? What's their demeanour? What's their body language? I think we all, whether we like it or not, we all make judgments based on the things that we see. Some of which, to be quite honest, Jed, I think are fairly superficial. You look at someone and you'll say, do they present themselves well? It doesn't mean they've got to look like a Hollywood movie star, but I think, you want someone, because that tells you whether or not they're organised and they look after themselves. If they can look after themselves, maybe they can look after your sale.
Yep.
So I think, the obvious answer, the first thing you look for is first impressions and see how they look.
Yeah, for me, first impressions are really important as well. Yeah, again, it's that this person attending to details. You see, really, the way he dressed, the way he prepared the listing presentations. You see, really keen to have my listing. Might not be a really expensive properties, but how much to give to me. So it's not just one of another listings. How much you really put efforts into listings.
I think it's a great point. Energy.
Yeah, energy.
What is the energy of the person? And it doesn't have to be over the top. In fact, I don't think it should be over the top, but there's got to be a certain energy that feels confident, relaxed, calm, enthusiastic. So I think a master can get all these things through in the way they present themselves.
You bring up a good point. The first impression tells you a lot about the rest of the presentation, doesn't it? And how the rest of the presentation is going to go. They're not
Absolutely.
organised, they're not dressed appropriately, etc. But then it's going to.
Well, I think the challenge, Jed, is that if you screw the first impression up, Monica, the first 5, 10, 20 seconds, whatever it is, it's very hard to come back from there. Because a lot of people then they switch off and they're just waiting, how quickly can I get you out of here without feeling too rude? Whereas if the first impression is, wow, they're punctual, they look good, they look organised, they've kind of, the first few things they say feel good, you're on a really good track. And then it's sort of, they want to like you more. But if you do or say something initially that puts them off, it's hard to win that
it's
back.
hard to come back.
Hard
yeah.
to come back.